Okay. All right. My guest is Dr. Jake Wade, Dean of Timothy, creator of Timothy Bible College, and the Little Red Schoolhouse. Now, is the Little Red Schoolhouse still going on, Jake?
Yeah, everywhere but here. I've got 17 other schools still going.
Now, this is, you educate the children, they go to class over the internet, right?
The ones, yeah, since I couldn't keep a physical school open here, we have this available to anybody in the world. It can be done by CD. We have classes by Skype where we actually talk to the people on the internet, and they can do the entire thing sitting in front of their computer.
I think that's great, and you know, I'm trying to put people together. I'm trying to put together an engineer that says he can build a magnetic motor. I'm trying to put him together with the guy that does the geodesic, the monolithic domes, and he's building homes out of it. He's building stadiums out of them practically. Easy to do, made out of concrete, and they'll resist tornadoes. Hurricanes.
They'll resist about anything.
Yeah, they're right down in your neighborhood too. They're right down just a little north of San Antonio. You can look it up. I got David South is the name of the guy, and I'd like to come out there and work with them and sell these whole things.
We got to get together.
Sell these whole things as a package. And
so if you come out, we got to get together. And I need to sit with you and do a little barnstorming on Timothy, because you're on the staff at Timothy Bible College, and we need some things to be looked at for exposing more of our teaching to more people.
We got to do true history and understand political science. You know, we have to follow our founding fathers. They were absolute geniuses. They created a system, if you can keep it. And that's what they told us. If you can keep it, yes. To me, that's what we should be doing. And you know, this is what we moved into is a whole communist regime, and they're getting ready to do the same thing, and probably already are, folks. There's 60,000 Americans have been killed by illegals. They're allowing the illegals to come in. The federal government is allowing them. I'm working with sheriffs right now, Jake, and I put together an event for a sheriff here at Cochise County, Sheriff Larry Deaver, and there's some people have put together an event for him for his support. But they're telling us, generals from Texas, hired by Texas, are telling us that we're in a state of war on the border. I'm in a border county. This is General McCaffrey and another one hired by the Texas Agricultural Board.
Can I bring the Bible into this?
Absolutely, sir.
In the book of Ezra, if people want to go and find foundations for this, in the book of Ezra, God mandated that Ezra and Nehemiah not allow foreign women in as wives of their people, because he says, I don't want their idols, I don't want their culture to water down, to pervert or create a toxin for what we're going to do from scratch. It's like this country. We came over here, they were called purists or Puritans, and they should have left that alone. I got no problem with immigrants if you are going to submit to this culture, but you don't go to Europe and tell them, you got to have our culture, you submit to theirs. We have really gone against what Ezra was told to do. Keep those women out of here or send them home.
We're in an invasion right now by the Hispanics. Yes. And, you know, this is, I've said too, Jake, I said, look, you know, if I was living down in Acapulco and I couldn't feed my family, and NAFTA did that. NAFTA destroyed the economy down in Mexico too, created this wave of refugees that's coming up here. If I lived down there and I couldn't feed my family, I'd be walking up here with them trying to get something survive some way. You know?
I have no problem with somebody coming across our border and saying, I'm going to work my tail off and do it under the law and legally and as not an illegal but a legal immigrant. I have no problem with that.
Well, I don't either, except that I tried to do that with a person that worked for, I took over a company for a friend of mine, and I tried to get my lead glass blower was deported, was caught and sent back. And I went to INS to try to get him brought back over here legally. I couldn't do it.
Were you paying him?
Yes.
Well, they were wrong then. If you already had him a paying job, then that's been enough to get him a work visa.
Should have. But he had he came back to work, but he probably just came, you know, right in. I mean, he already had a house and everything there. So yeah, it's our laws. You know, I've had Border Patrol agents tell me, we could stop this. We could stop these illegals. We could stop the drugs. They won't let us. That comes right directly from Border Patrol agents. And,
well, let me ask you something else. Is there, and you and I talked about this before for the show. One of the problems you and I both have, and I'm sitting in a situation right now where it wouldn't take but about $2,500 to keep the school boat afloat and the rest of it. I've just, come up against it financially, and so have you. If we had some benefactor out there or multiple benefactors that realize that what we're trying to do is save America and give it back to God and the people, if they would throw a few bucks at us, then we'd have a little more fuel for the machine. And I really think that's part of it. You said, how do we fix this? You've got to be able to oil the machine or fuel the machine, or it doesn't run very far.
You're right. And I recently went to a conference, online conference, by the publisher of Radio Television Interview Report, RTIR, and I got copies of it right here. Now I've been on their mailing list for years and years and years. That's how I got a lot of my guests. And he gave a lecture about Rich Arthur, Poor Arthur, and I listened to it. And Jake, I have done everything that he said the rich author needs to do. So why am I not rich?
Let me state this. I'm sure you've got listeners. Let me tell your listeners something. If it wasn't for people like Clay Douglas, this country would have already gone down the tube. Somebody out there screaming in the wilderness saying, whoa, 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 this is not accurate, this is not right. We're being done away with according to our Constitution. It's hidden, that sort of thing. You have been a town crier for that many years, and without folks like you, I think we'd have already lost the battle.
Thank you, Jake. People, I get attacked from every side, man. I'm called a communist, I'm called right wing, I'm called extremist, and anti-government.
That was a compliment.
Yeah, our heroes have always been outlaws. I mean, we don't, we make movies, about the rebels of the Jesse James and the Billy the Kids and the people that were, they were fighting the railroads, they were fighting the banks, and right back then, all the way back then, nothing ever changes. We've been fighting these people for tens of thousands of years, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, the battle hadn't changed.
And one of the things we got to do is figure out how do we fight evil without becoming evil. I don't want to go out and kill all the Jews.
Amen.
I don't want to do nothing to them. you know, that would make me just as evil and bad as they are. You know, I am for the individual, and our Constitution protects you. And this would be, you know, I'm listed as an instructor for Timothy Bible College. Let me tell you, this is what I'm going to tell my people. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what your religion is. Our founding fathers gave you the right to worship the way you please in our Constitution. That's what I'm doing. So you want to get on your knees and stick your nose in the dirt and your ass up in there, I'll try to keep the St. Bernard off it. Don't expect me to get down on my knees with you. It ain't gonna happen. And if you want to bang your head against that wailing wall over there, knock yourself out, bud. I'll watch.
Amen.
And you know, if you make the decisions that are right for you, you accept Christianity. You know, to me, Jesus was the first rebel that figured it out how to fight evil without becoming evil. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't hurt nobody. You know, and getting hit.
He showed us the way, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He gave us the way. And to me, that's why I think, you know, the church has kind of taken over the Catholic Church, Presbyterian Church, you know, the churches, the 501c3 churches out there that can't talk about what you and I talk about. Those churches. They didn't want men like you. They didn't want men like you and I aspiring to be the kind of man Jesus was.
Amen. Well, the problem with the 501c3 is that whole religions, denominations have bought into that and let the lawyers write the contract for the corporation, and you're right, it just absolutely ties a knot in their tongue. They can't say anything.
You know, I've often wondered, Jake, why are they so afraid of me? I'm just an old biker from Texas, you know. I came out to Arizona so I could ride without a friggin' helmet, you know. So, you know, Texas does have a chance. The Texas nationalist movement is gaining some support, and they got a lot to gain by helping promote me because they're printing my books. If I'm going to start sending out my articles, you know, I still got the first check I got from Chic magazine for $900 back about 20 years ago. I reckon it ought to be worth more than that now.
Right.
But they've affected me psychologically. We're in a form of psychological warfare.
Right.
And the accident and the loss of my family, I mean, the doctors drove them away. This is why I'm so you know, torn over this Mark Taylor thing. I mean, I think they ought to just let him go and take care of him at home. And they keep involving the doctors in it, and the doctors keep prescribing more and more drugs, and then they take him off of it, and then they're saying, oh, well, you took him off too quick. So that's a tremendous psychological thing. You know, your problems is because I interview people. I interview some people that got solutions and got ideas. If we could all work together and put them together, and I've got people that are under attack. You, Donna, you know, Donna Kane. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Because anybody that's trying to get to the truth and trying to make a difference is going to be attacked. I refer to myself as the canary in the coal mine. Now people are starting to see how the cops treat them when they're walking down the street in New York City or in Washington. And I think I have to do that. I mean, I don't think I would be put in the situations to meet the people I have. I mean, you know, I used to talk to Eustace Mullins all the time. Aaron Russo, I promoted him. I got him on the cover of a magazine. I still got a copy right here when he was running for governor. You know, I don't care what. It's not. I've invited. I met a Jewish man from Soviet-controlled Romania. He escaped from the communist regime, and he says the same thing's happening here. I invited him to come on my show. You know, I just want to know. I just want to know what's happening, and I want to make a difference. I want to teach people to think. That's why your school is so important. You've already got the mechanism. You got it set up. All we got to do is make people aware of it, and it takes money to do that. That's what they've done. They've given me for $1,500 I could advertise my show, Timothy Bible College, a Free American magazine, and all of my books and all of my films. $1,700. $1,700 for three months, I believe is what it is. You know,
well,
I know
similar problems, same thing. I spent $500 to get my book in front of the book people this month, and it costs money to get your information out there. It just does.
Yes. But we've got the opportunity. We've got the show. We've got the internet. We've got people out there. If you people just pass this show right here, this is what you're watching right now. What you're watching me do a show. You're watching me sit in my living room and talk to you. You know, Jake and I are just people. We saw a need, we filled it. Mine, when I saw what the media did, Jake, with Waco, here the BATF attacked the church, killed 17 little children, burnt the place to the ground, and they did it to save these 17 little children from a child molester.
So they say.
So they say, yes. And
but the federal government did not have a legal right to overrun the local sheriffs and do what they did, and yet they got by with it.
They got back. Nobody went to jail for that. That's why I started the militias. Now again, I've been demonized for that. Millions of people were told Clay Douglas was a right-wing radical because he published the Free American, and he started the militias. They just didn't go on to tell them that I did it in the governor's office. That the candidate for president right now, Governor Gary Johnson, came into my house. We talked. I escorted him. He rode his bicycle. I rode my Harley. You know, we met as the militia. We met in a governor's office in Santa Fe. We worked for him. We followed the Constitution. We were a terrorist group. And let's see, no BATF in the Murrah building when they blew that up. And who's arming those drug gangs right now, Jake?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Seems that they're not only in the firearm business, they're in the drug business too. They're arming the drug dealers. To me, Liberty Village.
With all the confiscated material.
What do they do with it? Gee, I wonder. You know, it's the CIA and the Mossad were bringing the drugs in. That's included in my book, Mystery Babylon. Why isn't everybody reading Mystery Babylon? I mean, it's got the whole Cthulhu document in there telling who. Oh, let's see, that was George Bush, and Bill Clinton was working for George Bush. His job was to keep Mena, Arkansas clear. All of that is in Mystery Babylon, Jake. Why aren't I selling more copies?
I don't know.
You know, is this? You know, is this outside forces? Is this, you know, maybe I'm just not as good as I think I am. Maybe I'm not that good at writing. You know, maybe I moved a little too slow on my radio show. What do you think? I don't know. You know, it's like, was I suffering from a head injury, or was I being drugged for 3 months to run up a $750 million hospital? Quit?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I said, don't quit though.
No, I can't. I just keep thinking. I keep thinking of the ways I can do it better, the ways we can do it better. You know, and Jake, I think if we don't work together, we'll all hang alone.
Well, we haven't got a chance. It has to be together.
All right. Let me see here. Let me check on what I got here. I guess Bangkok is flooding. What do we got here? Okay, we got 7 minutes left. Let's tell everybody about Timothy Bible College, because this is important. This is important, folks. This is the way. Now, I've got films up, Jake, talking about colleges being a scam. The whole, they're going to loan you money to go to college, the college is getting this much money for, and then the college is bringing in the illegals and giving them the education for free. You know, and I don't get that impression. I don't get the impression that Timothy Bible College operates like that. What's wrong with our college system? What's wrong with our education system?
I'm afraid that they're a product. It just is rolled over generation by generation. We now have the higher education, lower education, doctors, lawyers, the whole 9 yards is in a dumbed down state, and I don't see people coming out of a lot of these institutions being able to do what they thought they were going in to learn how to do.
This is all deliberate. When the Rockefeller founded the what was it, National Education Association.
I didn't get that.
Didn't Rockefeller do something with the colleges, with the education, some
oh, yeah,
organization,
yeah.
NEA, or was it? Or what?
Right, and the NEA, of course, is following Khrushchev's plan for taking over America. Dennis Cuddy, like, got killed over his book on that.
Do you think my books, or do you think they consider my book to be that kind of threat?
Mystery Babylon?
Yep.
You bet.
Well, I got...
My book sold out. It's the same thing.
All right. Donna. Huh?
Should I come on the video show?
Yeah, come on, call me on the Skype line.
What's that number, quick?
It's 520-413-2397.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Yeah. 2397, yes, ma'am. That was Donna Taylor, Jake. If you'll hold on, we're almost, we've got about 4 minutes left on this show. We can squeeze her in, so, you know, again, it's in a conundrum here. I mean, I don't know what to do. I certainly don't want to do anything to hurt her case, hurt her lawyer. You know, I don't want people at odds with each other. And you know, her attorney is a good attorney. Hi, Donna.
Hi.
Okay, you're on with Dr. Jake Wade, and I was just saying, we've been talking about your situation all day. You know, I got a letter. I got a letter from Wesley, and I'll send that to her. I'll share that with you later. But I got a letter for Wesley, and I don't want you, or I don't want to do anything to hurt Wesley, to damage his credibility. No. He's got a tremendous load on him trying to get Edgar Steele sentence reversed. He's got to go to the Supreme Court, and he has some points I don't agree with. I don't necessarily believe Mark is getting the best care. Wesley is an attorney. Wesley is an attorney, and he thinks you're just panicking, and I shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't do this, and we shouldn't do this, and your current attorney says you don't want to bring the media into it. And I told Jake all this, and he's read probably the articles that I've written about you up to date. Go ahead, Jake. What are we doing? I don't want to hurt the attorney, but I don't want Donna, and I don't want Mark to continue to be drugged. We can take him off the drugs. Only the doctors. Still with me, Jake?
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, it's I call it a conundrum. You know, it's what do you do? I mean, the people you're depending on the lawyers to help you, but the lawyer hasn't, in this case, sued the people for keeping Mark for a year. Is it because he's too busy, or because he doesn't have any confidence in the case, or he doesn't want to go against the big drug lawyers? Losing
I
property.
have a problem with this. I don't think they know. I honestly believe probably the lawyer doesn't realize what you and I know about this drug issue in this country, that it is so widespread, it's so insidious, it's so damaging that this voice, this young man's voice in the night, is what we need more of. Somebody needs to blow the whistle and stop the carnage.
You know, they keep saying, well, the doctor's working to get him off. The doctor's not a part of a conspiracy. The hell they're not.
Amen.
And this whole thing, happens to more than Mark. These mental hospitals and these are being filled, and as soon as they start drugging them, then they do go crazy. In my opinion. This is my opinion. And that certainly won't get me in tight with Wesley or very few other attorneys out there.
You know what? You're exactly right. And if you look up ColumbineFamilyRequest.org, you'll see Mark totally in a zombie state being drugged, and you'll see him when he wasn't drugged filmed. Two different people.
Yes.
How is it putting him in a zombie state helping him when he was totally normal on the news, and he was in a movie called Bowling for Columbine, which was totally normal before they drugged him?
It can't help. Nobody would purposely want to end up in that state.
No. And he tried not to take the medicines up here at the hospital. He didn't want to swallow them. He decided, darn it, not to swallow them. They injected it.
Stay with me here. we're out of time here, so I got to disconnect from a few of these people, but you guys stay with me here. Just a moment. Let me get this up.
Call recording has been completed.
Okay, and this one, got off of there. And,
well, we got Jeanette Parker working on this stuff, so.
Yes. Okay.
May I address Donna?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Welcome to the Magic Jack free conference service.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Just a minute.
Register a new conference room.
Just a minute. Here, let me get this off. All right. Okay.